Here's a bit about me. I've never chose the train riding lifestyle. I've never chose to be homeless. It kind of found me. I've been homeless going on 13 years now. My background is I grew up with a very poor intermediate family. My dad struggled with addiction and suicidal thoughts. My mom also was an alcoholic. But they tried. They tried really hard to take care of me and my sister. My sister ended up getting pregnant at a young age with an abusive man. And I ended up getting her in a relationship with some woman in North Carolina because I was just getting off probation for a felony charge, and no place would hire me because it was a very small town, and they had the good old boy system, and they blacklisted me from getting any fucking work. So what I did, how I paid the fines off, was I sold spice. Anyways, what I did was I got me an Amtrak ticket, the first train I ever rode that wasn't freight, to North Carolina. And I got with this woman that I was talking to for about 2 years. She told me she didn't have kids, that she didn't have a husband, and she was a single mom raising kids. I come to find out that she has a husband. Not only that, she doesn't fucking work. Her husband takes care of her and her kids. Her husband works 3 fucking jobs, works his ass off. As soon as I got there, her husband genuinely wanted to help me get on my feet. He immediately got me 3 jobs before I even got my driver's license transferred over to the state of North Carolina. And, you know, I was there for about 2 months working and all that, and she was trying to fuck around with me, which we did at the time. You got to remember, I was 21, and she was like 35. And, you know, I couldn't say no. She kind of, so to speak, raped me, but that's a different argument. Anyways, what happened was, she wanted me to be dad to her children. I told her, no, your children have a father, and he works real hard to take care of them, and he takes care of you. I don't feel comfortable messing around with you anymore. I mean, I genuinely take the help. I have enough saved up to get a place of my own, so I want to get a place of my own, to get on my feet, and, you know, I'll still talk to you. I want to be platonic friends. What she did was, she drove me into Raleigh, told me to go into a gas station and buy her some wine. She gave me $5. She's like, I lost my ID. I'm like, oh, okay, you're driving. Anyways, I walked into the gas station. I come out, she's gone. That's how I started being homeless. I went to a shelter that night, tried to contact her. I couldn't. I got a knife pulled out on me in the shelter. I almost got jumped, so I left about 4 hours later. Ended up on the streets. Ran into a bunch of people protesting in Raleigh. They let me stay there. I ran into some Bloods. They were the only people that helped me out, who were gangbangers. They gave me a pack, a sleeping bag, and all that. Then I met other train kids. I met other travelers, and my eyes opened wide because I didn't know people traveled. You got to understand, I come from a small town in Florida, and my first train I ever hopped was a straight-up suicide attempt. Like, I didn't really know people did that for real. Like, and it was out of Raleigh, and it was in front of the Amtrak station. I think it was a Norfolk Southern train. I didn't pay attention to the locomotives, but it was a suicide attempt. I got on a grain car, which I would be considered a shit ride nowadays, and I rode to Salisbury with no water, no supplies, no nothing. I got off, and I ran up to a church. I started drinking out of the spigot. I guess the guy who owned the church came out, or somebody came up, and they're like, you okay? I'm like, this is going to sound crazy. Where am I? What town is this? What state is this? I just got off that freight train that stopped right there. And he smiled, and he's like, you're in Salisbury, North Carolina. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, keep doing what I'm doing, man. I'm thinking in my head, man, I just tried to kill myself, man. Fuck. And, you know, ever since then, I haven't looked back. I went to Asheville, stayed there for a while, meeting other travelers and stuff, and then I met Coyote, which was pretty much my first road dog. And, you know, we went down to Atlanta, we hopped our first train together, and that's when I really started riding rails, and here I am 13 years later, still doing it. I try to get off the road, shit falls through. I don't have a support system, so I end up back out here. And I see this glorification on YouTube, like it's such a great thing. Look, guys, if you've never done this, it's not worth doing, man. Unless you have no other option and no support system, I mean, it's not worth. I mean, if you really, 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 really want to do it, then okay, I'm not going to stop you. Like, you can enjoy your life. Just know, respect the culture, respect the people out here. Don't blow up yards. Don't be stupid. Don't take personal risks. At least get an idea of safety and know what you're doing, please. But if you're going to be an asshole, be prepared because people will hurt you over it, obviously. If you're being stupid. You know, robbing people, jumping workers, you know, being dumb about riding trains. Obviously, you're going to get chewed out for it, okay? But what I'm saying is it shouldn't be glorified. This is not something to glorify. I mean, in a way, yeah, it's great. I've seen a lot of places that most people never see in their whole lives. Yeah, I get that. But it's also very draining. It's extremely draining. It takes everything out of you. And I learned a lot about myself, and I learned that I was a punching bag my whole adolescent life, that people used me as a physical and emotional punching bag. I was sexually abused when I was younger, but that's not the point of this. My dad died when I was working on a pot farm on the road, and he was like one of the only intermediate family members that I was close to. I was like very close to my father. Like, the rest of my family could give two shits, especially my external family, my aunts and all that. They all married guys for the money. They're a bunch of shitty people that mock me and actually have a death pool on me. But I don't want to talk about that. So basically, when my dad passed away, I was devastated, and now I started talking to my mom after like 6 years of not talking to her, and we started actually getting a relationship. And now I'm seeing a different side of my mom, because she's finally sober, and she doesn't drink no more, because she would run off with bikers who were physically abusive and psychotic, and a lot of drama. So I visit her every now and again. The thing is, I don't have a living situation. You know, I get a hotel room to see my mom, because she lives with my sister, and my sister lives with her boyfriend who owns the house, and he doesn't really like me, I guess. But, yeah, that's pretty much my life, you know. I didn't choose this, it chose me. I don't regret it, though. You know, I'm grateful for every moment I'm alive. Yeah, I've seen a lot more than most people see, I guess. Whoop-de-doo. You know, I learned that we project a lot, you know. That's one thing I learned. A lot of how we feel about others is how we feel about ourselves, and a lot of us project about ourselves, but everybody can change. Any person can grow and change. Someone that you know is a piece of shit, that person can learn to love themselves. That person can change, you know. So, you know, try not to hate people. Try not to be an asshole, because you don't know what someone's going through in here. You know, a lot of people got battles. That's all I really gotta say. Peace, love, and slack action.